Kankel's McTaco Tits authoritarian regime is going full tilt in authoritarianism, breaking overnight. Kylie popped this up. The Midas Touch is reporting that Kash Patel tweets, "No one is above the law," at FBI agents on mission as FBI agents raid the D.C. area home of former Trump National Security Advisor John Bolton this morning. And what's important to note about this is John Bolton, I don't agree with a lot of stuff he says, but he has some clarity about Russia and Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to me that ever since the American government completely fell to their knees and is obsequious to every single need and demand of war criminal and murderous dictator Vladimir Putin has increased bombing. He's putting American flags on tanks. And there seems to be a further bend by the American government, I'm talking about Kansas government, to completely bend over for Putin. And now they're raiding his home for probably complete bullshit reasons. And I just think, you guys, we're in the fight of our life. We can cover how crazy he is. We can cover all the cognitive decline, but they are going to do everything in their power to make Vladimir Putin happy, and everything in their power to rig, cheat, lie, and or cancel the midterms, which brings me to this next one. Brian Tyler Cohen is reporting the following. Trump is now ordering Republicans to do whatever they can to pick up 100 House seats in 2026, including through massive gerrymandering, voter suppression, and overturning the Voting Rights Act.
What terrifies me about this is these Republicans, they fall in line. They do everything he wants them to do. And we are seeing day after day, the Supreme Court is not going to save us. The Supreme Court is gifting our country to fascism. And so I look at that and my first thought is gerrymandering. You take it to court, voter suppression. But we cannot trust the Supreme Court to do that. And we certainly cannot trust Republican leaders. And so what it's going to take is every person taking part in protesting, resisting, and voting. And I don't know that the average Joe that doesn't pay attention to politics realizes that we are in the fight for the United States democratic way of life.
The incoming economic calamity that his tariffs and the mass firings at the federal government, inflation spiking, are going to start getting people a little bit more aware of what's going on. And I'm hoping that draws some people over to the news. But again, legacy media is a part of the mass cover-up of this man having full-blown dementia. And they're a part of the cover-up when they report Kash Patel as just like he's a normal FBI agent. In my opinion, when you are covering Kash Patel and you tell this story, you need to show some of his podcast clips, right? And show some of his history so that the American public, if they happen to watch something very vanilla like ABC News, something like that, like, oh, God, the economy's so bad, what's going on? And they put on, ABC, NBC, CBS at 6 or something like we used to watch when we were little, that they are reporting that in tandem with where he came from and why he was recruited, because that is so important. That context of why he was chosen by Kanks is so important, because he was chosen because he will do this shit. He will go and raid John Bolton's home because John Bolton probably hurt Donald Trump's feelings and worries Vladimir Putin. And Kash Patel is nothing short of a beta male. He has no conviction. He has no morals. He is blindly obedient to a 95-year-old man who has swollen ankles, who Alex Jones is giving less than 12 months to live. And he's doing all of this stuff. And meanwhile, our democracy is crumbling. But what do they do on the right to prevent us from looking at all of the catastrophe that is going on? 71% of the people that the Trump administration is kidnapping off the streets have zero criminal record. Zero. They've got Kristi Noem down with her arts and craft project, painting the fence black because Trump thinks that will make it more difficult for people to climb it. They're going to find out about gloves soon. So I don't know if we're going to boycott gloves after that or what's going to happen. But here's what they do on the right. And I want you to put up this tweet from Byron Donalds. So Cracker Barrel rebranded. They lost the old man in the barrel, and now they're just Cracker Barrel. The right wing is losing their mind. And Byron Donald says, you guys, in college, I worked at Cracker Barrel in Tallahassee. I even gave my life to Christ in their parking lot. Their logo was iconic, and their unique restaurants were a fixture of American culture. No one asked for this woke rebrand. It's time to make Cracker Barrel great again. And there's just so much to unpack here. And I don't know, the situation with Jesus Christ in the parking lot is one issue that I could just dive into and talk about forever. Okay. But this Cracker Barrel being this like huge part of American culture is just bullshit. But they're losing their minds. They're whining. They're complaining. They're going apeshit bananas over this. Watch this clip, Pumps, from this MAGA nut on CNN last night. Play the clip, Kylie.
You were saying?
Well, I just wanted to say, as someone who actually lives in the Midwest, in the heartland of America, I have a lot of friends who are watching tonight. When they saw the intro and we were going to talk about Cracker Barrel, my phone blew up. And they said, I am so angry. I hope you express that anger. They're actually, yeah.
Okay. What a bunch of pussies. I mean, seriously, you text your friend that's on CNN because Cracker Barrel made a new logo and you're having a stage 10 meltdown over that? Over that? You don't care about alligator Alcatraz. You don't care about the United States military soldiers on their knees to greet Vladimir Putin. You don't give a shit about any of that, but you're whining like a pathetic little titty baby that lost their pacifier over the Cracker Barrel logo. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, here's what I was looking at, because I just found this so hilarious that they were going so bananas about it. The CEO of Cracker Barrel is now a woman. So the MAGA sphere is, well, that woke DEI hire. So white women, they're coming after you. They're coming after you. You don't have to just be gay. They're coming after you. And then they were mad that they're taking away the flea market, which told me the flea market in the front, when you walk into a Cracker Barrel, they actually like Donald Trump's flea market. I thought maybe it was kind of an embarrassment to people that the president of the United States had a flea market. He was turning the Oval Office into a gold flea market. They're livid because there's a female CEO, and Stephen Miller sued Cracker Barrel a few weeks ago as an advisor to the president, which I don't think he can do that, but that's here nor there, because they still have DEI policies. That's why they don't like
Here's the thing. Like that guy sitting on CNN and he's like, I actually live in the Midwest, and everybody's okay. We live in Oklahoma City. I know zero people that eat at Cracker Barrel. I think I've eaten at one like once or twice in a pinch off the highway. And so it's not like this is like everybody's big Friday night thing. I think, if you are driving off the highway, you pull into a Cracker Barrel. This is not like the most iconic American restaurant. The fact that they're melting down over this shows you, number one, they're pussies. Number two, anything that they can use to wag the dog.
Right.
Anything. And Democrats need to latch on to this to say, oh, are your feelings hurt? Fuck your feelings. Just don't eat at Cracker Barrel and move on. It's just simple. I mean, it's completely simple. I don't eat at Chick-fil-A. They're anti-gay. You just don't eat there and you just move the fuck on. I'm not having a meltdown online over it and losing my mind. These people are so crazy, which brings me to, we haven't done a little check-in on Kitten Hills. And for those of you that don't know who Kitten Hills is Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida. And Pumps and I covered him quite a bit when he was going to be the new MAGA before Trump won the primary again. And And, he thinks he's hot shit. And what's so hilarious about Kitten Heels, and the reason we call him Kitten Heels is he's short. So he wears, platform shoes and boots with lifts. So we call him Kitten Heels because he tries to make himself a little bit taller. Well, I haven't heard that much about him lately. And he wanted to remind everybody in the MAGA sphere that he is a gold star prick. And so here's what he does. Ron DeSantis has ordered the Rainbow Crosswalk outside the former Pulse nightclub to be painted over. The crosswalk honored the 49 victims of the deadly shooting at the Pulse LGBTQ nightclub. And what I want to say to you all about this is something to be outraged over. To be able to come out of the closet for so many Americans that are born to very religious, very Republican families face bullies and cowards like Ron DeSantis, from their megachurch pastors to their parents to the politicians. Almost 50 people went out one night because we're supposed to be a free country. They went to a gay bar and they were shot and killed. And so this is a place to honor them. But is MAGA going to be upset about this? No. They're going to be upset about some 90-year-old man being removed from the Cracker Barrel logo, and they are going to lose their mind over it, while at the same time, they're going to support Kanks who tried to give a blowjob to a microphone. While at the same time, we have stories breaking left and right that male DC escorts have never been busier than they are right now with the MAGA moving into Washington, D.C. And these hypocrites do this shit. And Ron DeSantis had to just enter the frame to say, hey, I can be a prick too. I get it. We all like to be mean. We all like to bully people. And I'm right here with you. And I just think that is an absolute disgrace. And to everybody that has members of the LGBTQ plus in your life, and you go and vote for this regime, you are not an ally. And your duplicity, being friendly to the face, oh my God, I love you, honey, it's so good to see you, and then you go vote, is the most deplorable thing on the planet. White women, all men, do better. If you support somebody, support them. If you support human rights, support it. This shit is it's just so cruel.
It's so cruel. And here's the thing. They feast on the cruelty. They like the cruelty. Ron DeSantis likes the cruelty. The Fox News viewer likes the cruelty. We have to wrap our head around that these people dehumanize other people to make themselves feel better and to be able to treat them like shit. Whether it's an immigrant, a Black person, a white woman that runs a company, a gay person, a member of the LGBTQIA plus community, they pick on people because they think they're better. And at the end of the day, they're going to be standing around, and the only people in their group are going to be white, rich men, full stop. Everybody else, look out.
All right. Speaking of pricks, here's Smokey Eye Sociopath talking about healthcare in the United States.
But we want to help the people who have the legal right to be in the United States of America. So it's not about kicking people off of health care. It's about kicking illegal aliens the hell out of this country so that we can preserve health care for the American families who need it.
Okay. What health care is he talking about preserving? Such a thing does not exist. I have insurance that I pay $700, $800 a month for, just for me individually. I had kidney stones. I go to the hospital to be treated. I had to pay $1,200 out of pocket on top of the monthly fee that I pay and on top of the $200 deductible. This is insane. What health care is he talking about preserving? And I'm a richish white woman, so I could afford to do this. What happens to the people that he grew up around, that he wrote his book, Hillbilly Elegy, that get cancer and the government doesn't give a shit about it? He just wants to sit and demean poor people, which he came from. He was a poor white guy, J.D. Vance was, whose grandmother thought he was gay. FYI. And then he goes out to Silicon Valley and gets completely radicalized by these evil demon queens, Peter Thiel and others. And now he's just the cruelest person on the planet. This should not be normalized. Talking about kicking people out of the country. When they say that, they don't give a shit if they're legal or illegal. They don't care. They just care that they're fucking brown. And the weirdest thing about these people, you guys, the weirdest thing, JD Vance, failed drag queen, wife is brown. Yet he gets out on camera and just reports all of this like he has credibility. And he has none. He is a smoky eye, sociopath, failed drag queen, cosplaying as a vice president of the United States. And we all need to stay focused, laser focused. Try to log on as much as you can, like and subscribe, because it's going to take every single one of us to make it to the midterms. We have an uphill battle, but we're all still here. We are all still in this country, and it's worthy of fighting for, and we're not going to let it fall on our watch. Please also support our show by buying our book, Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches. The link is below in the show notes.